Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and for those of you who are new here, my name's Amy. I'm a full-time reseller primarily on the Poshmark app, but I do dabble in other online platforms and I sell locally. Today I'll be doing a ship with me video. In these videos I go day to day and I show the different items that I'm shipping out. I talk about how much they sold for, what I paid for them, and what my profit was. There's usually at least 3 clips in these videos, so sometimes it looks like the video might be over, but keep watching because there is more to come. So let's get started. It was kind of a quiet weekend for me on Poshmark. I had one sale until last night, and today is Monday, and then I had these few more sales come in this morning. So I am thankful that I have these sales, although most of them are lower dollar items. But you know what? Like I say, this business is a roller coaster, and sometimes it's amazing and sometimes it's not so good. So I'm just going to keep working and hopefully it turns around. So this is a pretty fun little sale. This is a Oshkosh vintage kids fanny pack. Isn't that just the cutest little thing? Oh, I just thought that was so cute. And some of these items I did accept lower offers on than I had originally hoped for because I only had that single sale, and it was a belt, and it was only $28 sale. So I really needed to generate some more sales. This ended up selling for $49. I had originally listed this for $89. And I was hoping to get a bit more for it. But when this buyer offered the $49, I just decided to go ahead and accept because I had only paid $4 for it. So that still left me with a pretty decent profit. If you guys watched last week's video, I mentioned that I had a return at the end of last week. And that always really slows my sales down when I have a return request approved through Poshmark. So that's kind of disappointing, but it's just part of the business. So you just have to kind of let it, fall off your back and keep moving on. So like I said, this sold for $49. I paid $4, which made my profit after Posh fees and my cost of goods $35.20. That's still a pretty great profit, and this wasn't listed terribly long, maybe a couple of months. So if you haven't watched my videos before, I love selling belts, so you will see lots of belts in these videos. The next item that sold is this cool mustard yellow colored belt with these tooled rose details. And I used keywords like genuine leather, tooled, floral, flower, rose, hippie, boho, anything that I could think of that would get this belt some attention. It did not have a brand name, so I listed it under the vintage brand on Poshmark. If you haven't watched my videos before, that is a tip for vintage items that don't have a name brand. There is an actual brand on Poshmark called Vintage, and people follow that brand just like they would any other brand like Columbia or Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever. So this belt sold for $35. I had it listed for $39, and I sent out an offer to likers with 10% off with discounted shipping. So they accepted the offer for $35. I had paid a little bit more for this. I paid $5. I just thought it was a cool piece. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $20.02. I just love selling belts. They are a trusty bread and butter item, and they always seem to come through even when sales are slow. So that being said, I sold another belt. This is a vintage, probably 1960s, 1970s stretch belt. And I used terms like those eras, 60s, 70s, silver. I put sequin, I put fish scale, stretch belt, retro, metallic. Yeah, anything that I could think of that was applicable. I like to put at the bottom of my description. So I'll write the typical description, and then I'll just put tags, the word tags, and then any applicable word at the bottom of my description. I do, of course, put as many keywords as possible in the title, but we all know that there is a limited space in the title, but I really do think that those keywords or tag words really help, because people search for all different sorts of things, and so you just really want to be able to get as many eyes on your items as possible. This ended up selling for $28. I think I had this listed at like $32 or something, because these stretch belts haven't sold for as high a prices in the past. So when the buyer offered me $28, or maybe this was a 10% off offer to likers too, I'm not sure. But I had only paid $1 for this. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $18.42. Another profit that I am happy with. I like picking up belts because I can find them pretty easily in my area and for affordable prices. Okay, the next item, again, I was hoping to get a little bit more for this. This is a beaded turquoise and heishi. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Heishi is a term they use for these brown beads. This ended up selling for $25. Like I said, I was hoping for more than that, but I just decided to go ahead and accept that because sales had been slow. And really, I'm not sure how much more I could have gotten for this. I also only paid $1 for it, or less than $1. This was in a bag with a bunch of other similar necklaces, and they had the whole bag marked at like $3 or $5. And I've already sold 2 necklaces out of that bag, and one sold, I think, for $70, and the other one in the $40 range. So really, it has been a great profit overall. I hope this buyer really likes it. You know, when I give somebody a good deal, or what I consider to be a good deal, I just always hope that they really, you know, like it, because then at least it's worth it. Okay, so like I said, it sold for $25. I paid $1. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $19. Still a pretty decent profit. This wasn't listed terribly long, maybe 2 or 3 months. Okay, oops. Tried to put that in a box that already had something in it. So for these sales, if you haven't watched my videos before, for belts, I either like to use the small flat rate box or the box number 1096L. It's just slightly larger and wider, and it works well for a little bit bigger belts. Okay, the next item, another item I was hoping to get a little bit more for. Mainly just because I thought it was really cute. It is a Via Spiga poncho, shawl, cape, whatever you want to call it, and it has this asymmetrical zip. I originally actually bought this for myself. I just thought it was really cute, but I had only worn it once, and I think it had been in my closet for 2 years, so I just decided to go ahead and part with it. Now, Via Spiga has a pretty high retail value, and it is sold at Nordstrom and other high-end department stores, but the resale value just typically isn't very good on this brand. This ended up selling for $25. I don't know how much more I could have gotten if I had have held out. I really don't actually have very much experience selling this brand. But again, I was trying to get my closet moving by accepting offers, and I think I have this listed at $49 or $144, I'm not sure. I had sent out up to 30% off offers with discounted shipping, and this buyer counter offered me 25, so I just went ahead and accepted. I had only paid $5 for it, so after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15. Not amazing, but for something that I bought for myself and just decided to sell, that's not too bad. I'm not gonna complain. So the tape dispenser saga, if you guys have been watching, I am so frustrated with this stupid tape dispenser. But in my last video, which you will see this video 2 or 3 weeks later, somebody suggested that I use some packing tape. Can you see that? And tape it down. And that seems to be working. So thank you. I got this weighted tape dispenser and it still was jiggling all around. But what I'm frustrated with now is I got new tape because I was buying tape at the dollar store. And I thought, well, that can't be, you know, the most cost effective. So I got some tape from Walmart and I really like the quality of it. But when I pull it off, I don't know if you guys have noticed, a lot of times it wraps around my finger and it gets stuck on there. Just like, come on, give me a break with this tape. So anyways, I'm sorry that I can't seem to get this tape situation figured out, but at some point it'll work out. And I think this taping it down, I'll probably have to change this tape every week or so, but that's okay. Okay, well that is it for today, but there'll be a couple more clips, and fingers crossed that my sales pick up because those were all pretty low dollar sales, and typically I have a lot more sales by now, or dollar amount worth of sales. But like I always say, I'm just going to be thankful for the sales I have and stay positive and keep working. If you're new to my channel and you're enjoying this video, I'd like to invite you to subscribe. It's totally free and it really helps me out. Also, if you could give me a thumbs up and comment down below, both those things also really help me out. Okay, I'll see you in a couple days. Hi again, I'm back and I have some more sales to share with you. So again, it wasn't terribly busy, but I do have one high dollar sale that was a personal item. So all that money is gonna go back in my pocket, which is exciting. Also, another exciting thing is today is my 1 year YouTube anniversary. I'm so happy and excited that I made it this far. You guys will be seeing this 2 or 3 weeks late, but today is March 22nd. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for everyone who has been so supportive, continued to watch my videos and leave kind comments. It really means the world to me, and it's really kept me going, got me to this point. So my initial goal was to that I would try out YouTube for 1 year and see how it went, and then decide after that if I wanted to continue. I also, that 1 year mark was to get monetized within the first year and then reevaluate. And I got monetized after 6 months, so that is super exciting. I am going to be doing a video talking about my YouTube journey so far. If that has already been published by the time this video comes out, I will link it in the description box below. But in that video, I'll talk about how much YouTube has paid me so far, and kind of talk about some different things that I have learned about YouTube and why I think you should start a YouTube channel if you've been thinking about it. So just thank you again so much. I so appreciate your support. So let's get started. The first items sold on cherish.com, and it's been a little over a week since I've had a sale on Cherish. So I'm glad that it's perking back up and I'm getting some sales. So it is a set of 5 of these little glasses, and they have this mid-century atomic vibe, and they're like a little bit bigger than a shot glass. So I wasn't exactly sure what to put, but I'll tell you what I put in the title: Vintage Atomic Starburst Barware Small Lowball Shot Glasses Set of 5. Now that I think about it, I think I probably should have put mid-century in the title there. But anyways, these sold, they didn't take terribly long. maybe about 3 months or so to sell, and they sold for $74 total. The purchase price was $69. It was a full price sale. And then I charge a $5 packaging fee, or I charged, which is on top of the shipping fee. So that just goes into my pocket to pay for the cost of supplies to ship these. I paid just $2 for these at an estate sale. You know, they're kind of small, and so I think, you know, the person was just like, $2 sounds good. So I love picking up, buying and selling barware. I do really well with it. So after Cherish's commission and my cost of goods, that made my profit $56.82. I think that's really great. I'm gonna go ahead and move these out of the way and package them up later. It just takes me too much time to package them up on camera. So that was for a set of 5 of those, if I didn't mention that. Okay, so the next item is the exciting, more high dollar sale. I just tried to move my tape dispenser out of the way because I forgot that I had taped it down. Anyways, the saga continues with the tape dispenser. But it is this vintage Chanel tote. I had bought this for myself about 2 years ago. A little over 2 years ago. It was kind of an impulse buy, and I bought it off Fashion File. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but I think I paid between $5.50 and $5.75 on Fashion File. And it was cheaper because, I don't know if you'll be able to see very well, but there is a lot of scuffs and marks on it. But I thought, I want a bag that I can wear and not worry about scuffing and messing it up. And the scuffs were mostly on the back. So I didn't end up carrying this as much as I thought I would. So after not reaching for it for about a year, I decided to list it. I listed it for $12.95, and I listed it much higher than I thought I was going to get for it, just to prevent lowballers. So this had been listed probably three or so months, and I got an offer for $750. So I decided to go ahead and accept that because that would make my earnings $600 after Posh fees, and that would cover roughly about what I paid for it. So I was happy with that amount, and I had looked up comps, and this style of Chanel bag that was kind of in the realm between $600 and $1,000 is what they had sold for. Okay, so that's a lot of information, but if you don't know, I don't think I've mentioned it, but I am a big designer handbag fan. I don't know where it came from, but I really love designer handbags, and I love finding them on the secondhand market for a good price. Because, you know, if you went to Chanel to buy a bag like this now, I don't even know how much it would cost, $4,000 or $5,000. So maybe I could have gotten a little bit more for that, but I have my eye on another designer handbag, and so I really wanted to sell this so that I could get another bag. And if you are someone who is into designer bags, I would really recommend that you look at buying a vintage bag or a pre-loved bag. If you can wait for a good deal to come along, you can really, what am I trying to say? You can get a bag and carry it for a couple of years and then resell it and and make all your money back, or only lose $100 or $200. And then it's just like buying a Coach bag for $100 or $200. So that's what I like to do. And then I get to, you know, enjoy a designer handbag for a few years. And then when I get tired of it, I can sell it and get my money back and get something new. That's just how I do it. But I am happy with that sales price. Hopefully I didn't leave too much money on the table, but like I said, I did do some research. Okay, so the next item is a Tumi bag. I picked this up at the bins, and it was in an old bin. I was kind of surprised that so many people had passed it up, but I think a lot of people at the bins that I go to, they just go there and look through the purses to see if there's money in them or anything like that, because I've lucked out a few times and gotten some good bags that other people had passed up. Also, you can't see it on camera really, but this did have some marks on it. I did just stain treat it and throw it in the washing machine with some towels, and then I hung it to dry, and it did take out some of the marks, but not all of them. And so I did put that in the description. This ended up selling for $50. The buyer made an offer. I can't remember. I think I listed it for $69 or $79 to begin with. And usually I do a little bit better with Tumi, but because this had some marks and stuff, I just decided to go ahead and accept that $50 offer. And again, I had checked comps and it looked like that was kind of a reasonable, that was in line with what I could expect to get for this Tumi bag. Okay, so it sold for $50. I picked it up at the bins, so I probably only paid about $2 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $38. I'm happy with that. And I think this was only listed about a month. The next item, I think I picked these up on the same bins trip. And these are a pair of Steve Madden boots. And these are a certain style that is a pretty popular style. And I actually learned about these from McThriftsy. So Mackenzie, her YouTube channel is McThriftsy, and she also does ship with me videos. She's the one that I got the idea from to do ship with me videos, and I just tweaked it a little bit to kind of make it my videos my own. But I really appreciate, she shares a lot of good information, and her style and kind of business model is a little bit different than mine. So I'd suggest that you check out her channel if you haven't already. She's pretty popular, so I bet you have heard of her. But she's really a lovely person and she shares great information. So these ended up selling for $39. And again, I picked them up at the bins and I paid $2 for them. I think these sold on an offer to likers with discounted shipping. I'm not positive though. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $29.20. I think that's great for a bins pickup and for, you know, this $2-ish investment. And again, these only took about a month to sell. So that is a pretty quick flip in my opinion. I don't often have items that sell, you know, in a day or so. Sometimes I do, but not super often do I have super quick flips like that. So selling something within a month is great for me. Okay, did I say my profit was $29.20? I think I did. Okay, so the next item is this kind of leopard, again, just trying to move the tape dispenser, leopard animal print sweater. And this is an Anthropologie brand, Field and Flowers. It was a size medium. I picked it up because I liked the animal print. And then also when I touched it, I could tell it was nice quality, and it's 100% wool. That's the other reason I picked it up. So just a really cute cardigan sweater type jacket. I paid $6 for this, and I had it listed for a couple of months for $49. I had sent out a few different offers, I think up to 20% off, maybe up to 30% off. And this buyer came in and bought it for full price. So that is always super exciting. Let me get this open. So after Poshmark fees and my cost of goods, maybe I should have done this a little bit different, but oh well. that made my profit $33.20. Not too bad at all. I'm sure this retailed for over $100, probably close to $150, so this buyer got a great deal. I did just get a notification pop up on my phone. I'm filming with my phone, so I can't look at it, that someone accepted, said congrats, so-and-so accepted your offer. So I think I'm going to stop filming, check that, and then be back in a second, and I'll package up whatever just sold. Okay, be right back. Okay, so it was this brown leather Eddie Bauer bomber jacket that sold. And if you've been watching my videos, I've been having really great luck with brown leather bomber style jackets. They've been selling relatively quickly. I think this one was only listed a couple of weeks. So there's the tag. It's a really heavy, nice quality Eddie Bauer leather jacket. And the buyer, I had it listed for $89, I think. And I had sent out multiple offers because I'm really trying to move out my coats. And I sent out a 30% off offer with discounted shipping. She offered me $50, which I would have accepted, but I weighed this and it's over the 5 pounds. So I had to upgrade the label, which cost me $4.50. So I added it to a bundle and sent her a message and said, hey, thank you for the offer. I would have accepted, except this is over 5 pounds and I'll have to pay to upgrade the label. I counter offered $56. I hope you'll accept. And so she did within an hour or so. So this sold for $56. I paid $9 plus the $4.50 upgrade for a total of $13.50. And that made my profit after Posh fees and my cost of goods, $31.30. This is a really beautiful coat. I bet that it retailed for over $300. And to be honest with you, if I had waited, I'm sure I could have gotten significantly more for this. But again, I am really trying not to hang on to coats through the summer. My racks are just overflowing, and I think we're kind of coming to the end of where winter items are going to be selling regularly. I do sell winter items all through the year, but I just really don't want to be hanging on to them through the summer in the off chance that someone will buy them. So I am just trying to be thankful that this turned and burned and I made a quick $31 profit. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that is it for today, but there should be another clip after this and hopefully my sales really pick up. To be honest with you, I have not been motivated at all this week to list. I think I've only listed 3 things this week and it's Wednesday. So normally I try and list 10 items a day. So I should be up to 30 items. Ugh. So anyways, hopefully I get motivated and get going because that can really affect my sales for next week. But we all have, you know, motivated weeks and unmotivated weeks, and we just got to keep moving forward. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of days to share what else I sell. See you then. Hi again, it's a couple days later and I have quite a few sales on Poshmark, but I wanted to share with you first this chair that sold on cherish.com. It was a pretty great sale. As you can see, it has really amazing style, but it is pretty worn. And this chair sold for $650. I'm super excited. Cherish just does charge a 22% seller's commission. So after that fee and my cost of goods, which was $75, that made my total profit $432. I'm super excited about that. This chair is going to Texas. One of the not so great things about Cherish is that you do not get paid until the furniture item is delivered to the buyer. So that could be 4 to 6 weeks before I get the funds for this, but that is okay. I am happy with that profit overall. And I thought I'd share the title that I used: vintage 1960s mid-century clamshell chair, barrel back rust boudoir chair. So I tried to use as many descriptive words as I could. Okay, now I'll go back to the other room and share my Poshmark sales with you. Okay, I am in the other room and I've got my Poshmark sales ready to share with you. I forgot to mention that for that chair that I sold on Cherish, it had only been listed 2 or 3 months, so that was a pretty quick turnaround in my opinion. I had previously had it listed on Facebook Marketplace for less. I think I had it on there for $400 and it was listed there for quite some time, over 6 months. And I had gotten some interest in it, but no serious offers or anything like that. So it does pay to list your items where a larger audience can see them. That way you have potential to sell it to more people. I do think that the chair sold to another dealer and they're likely going to reupholster it and sell it for a lot more, but that is totally fine. I was not in the position to have it reupholstered at this time. Okay, so let's get started with what's sold on Poshmark. The first item is this pair of sneakers, and these are by P448. Can you see that? I had never heard of this brand before, but when I saw them at the thrift store, I picked them up because initially I thought they might be Golden Goose because they have that look to them. And when I looked them up, I saw that that brand had a pretty high retail value and a decent resale value. So these ended up selling for $65. There were some higher comps than that, but I guess these weren't listed very long, maybe a month or two, but I really hadn't had much interest in these. So I hadn't had very many likes. So when this buyer offered me $65, I decided to just go ahead and accept it. My sales had been quite slow. It has been 3 days since I filmed last. And for the first almost 48 hours, I only had 1 sale. So Poshmark has been very slow for me. So I was motivated to accept offers. I think I had these listed for $95. So I didn't think 65 was too terribly bad. Also, I had only paid $6 for these. So that still left me with a pretty great profit of $46 after Posh fees and my cost of goods. So I think $46, not going to complain about that at all. That is pretty great. I ended up having quite a few sales on Poshmark. A lot of them were a little bit lower dollar pieces, which I'm totally okay with. It all adds up. Also, I sold a few pieces that had been listed forever, so I'm so glad to get rid of those. The next item is this kind of fun, funky bucket hat. I picked this up at the bins, and the reason that I picked it up is because it reminded me of the hat that Mayim Bialik wore on Blossom, the TV show. And when I was a kid, I watched that show all the time. Also, bucket hats have been somewhat trendy. I'm not sure if the trend is still going super strong. Let's see, I do think I'll stuff this a little bit. But because it was at the bins, I thought, you know, it's only $1 or so, so I will definitely pick it up, even if it isn't a huge profit. And it ended up selling for $18. So again, not a huge sale, but it did sell relatively quickly. I think I've only had it listed 3 weeks or a month. So like I said, it sold for $18. I paid $1 or less at the bins. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $13.40. Not a home run, but that day at the bins, I had been there a while and I really wasn't finding much. So when that happens, I will sometimes pick up items that won't be as high of a profit, or items that I want to experiment on, just so that I can offset the time that I had spent to make sure I have some sort of reward or money for all that time that I spent. So that is not too bad at all. I might do a different box for that, but we'll do that off camera. Okay, so the next item is one of the items that took forever to sell, and it is this really pretty gold-filled bangle bracelet. And it has this kind of diamond cut, let's see, what do you call it? Engraving. It's really, really pretty. So it is, let's see, was it 10 karat over sterling silver? I don't know how long I had this listed, but I think maybe 2 years. It was really listed a long time. Maybe I just had it priced too high initially for being a gold filled item, but it ended up selling for $50. So I'm happy with that, but I think maybe initially I had it listed for $129 and I had relisted it a couple of times. And most recently, oh, that box isn't going to be big enough. Oh, no, maybe it will be. Most recently, I had it listed for $89. And this buyer offered me the $50. So when I got that offer, I said, you can have it. I mean, I didn't literally say that, but I accepted it very quickly because I was so tired of looking at this bracelet. I do think I'm going to get a bigger box for that. I don't want it to get damaged in shipping after waiting so long to sell it. Okay, so I had only paid $3 for this. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $37. Still a pretty good profit, but it did take a long time to sell. Okay, the next item is this really cute vintage wicker purse. And you can't really tell on camera, but it is quite worn and there are some stain marks and discoloration on it. But I picked it up anyways just because I really liked the style, and it is probably from the 1950s or 60s. And it was only $1 at an estate sale. That's the other reason I picked it up. It ended up selling for $26. I can't remember. I think I had it listed at like $45, which was a little bit high, but I find when I list something like this for a low price to begin with, I just get even lower offers. So I decided to list it a little bit higher, hoping that I would get between $25 and $30 for it just because of the condition. And it worked out. So the buyer offered me $26. I had paid $1. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $19.80. This also didn't take a really long time to sell. Maybe only, I think actually only about a month. So really not long at all. Okay, the next item that sold, let's see, am I out of order here with my, there we go. The next item that sold also took a really, really long time to sell. It is this absolutely adorable 1960s, maybe 1950s jacket. And there is the old label. Isn't that just cool? This was listed over 2 years. I think maybe I just thought it was better than it was, or I just thought it was so cute and I thought that it would sell for more. It ended up selling for $50. I can't remember what I originally had it listed for to begin with, but this most recently it was listed for about $89, I think. I had relisted it and reduced the price. I don't know how many times, but maybe I had it listed as high as $149 to begin with. Let's see. There we go. But I am happy to see it go because it has just been hanging around so long. And with winter coming to an end, I do not want to store this through the summer. Again, it is just time for it to go. So like I said, it sold for $50. I had paid $5 for this at an estate sale, so I really didn't have too much into it. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $35. These, you know, fur trimmed coats, they usually take a long time to sell. And I do think that I'm just going to have to reevaluate my expectations for what these actually sell for. So when I used to have a brick and mortar store on Main Street in the town that we live in, we could get really great prices for fur coats and these, you know, fur trimmed coats because we have a lot of tourists that come through from the bigger cities, and they would be drinking wine and they would purchase fur coats in the middle of the summer when it was 90 degrees outside. It was just wild, but we could get really great prices. And so I think that's why my expectations are maybe a little skewed on how much I can actually get for these now. But either way, I'm happy to see it go. Okay, another item that was listed forever, again, I think maybe over 2 years, and this ended up being a full price sale. This is just a cute little teddy faux Sherpa jacket from Old Navy, and I actually bought this for myself and at the Goodwill, and I wore it a couple of times and then just didn't end up reaching for it, so I listed it. And you guys know Old Navy does not have a high retail value, even though sometimes they have some decent quality pieces. So I am really happy to see this go, and I think the $22 that it sold for is a pretty great price to get on the secondhand market. So I'm not sure what I originally paid for this, but typically our Goodwill does not price jackets for less than $6.99. And I really don't think I would have paid up for this because it was Old Navy and I was buying it for myself. So I put my cost of goods as $7. So after posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $10.60. That's fine for something that was from my own closet. It's better than, let's see, it looks like I'm gonna have to get a different box for that. It's better than selling at a yard sale for $2 or $3. Okay, the next item is this Mountain Hardwear fleece jacket. And Mountain Hardwear is always disappointing for me because I have purchased items new from them, and they make really great quality pieces, and the retail is pretty high actually. But whenever I pick Mountain Hardwear up, I don't end up getting a very good price for it, and usually it sits for a while. So this didn't take that long to sell, but it only sold for $25. Maybe I could have waited for a higher price. I don't know. I just have never had good luck with Mountain Hardwear. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you guys had good luck with Mountain Hardwear? So I did pick this up at the bins. And to be honest, I almost didn't even pick it up at the bins just because, like I said, I have not had very good luck with it. But it ended up being an okay profit. And I think it only took about 2 months to sell. So it sold for $25. I paid about $2 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $18. Not too bad, you know, if I can pick stuff up at the bins and not pay too much and make an $18 profit, I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, the next item is something that I was kind of experimenting with, and it is a long denim maxi skirt. I have heard other resellers say that they do well with these. This is by the Vermont Country Store, and it is a 1X. So I picked it up for a few different reasons, because it was a denim long skirt, because of the size, and because it was at a fill the bag sale, so I only paid $1 for it. It ended up selling for $25, and I think it was only listed for 2 or 3 weeks. I picked up 3 different denim skirts at that fill the bag sale, and this is the first one to sell. Overall, I am happy with that. That is kind of what I anticipated, or the range. I anticipated that these would sell in the, you know, $18 to $28 range. So $25 is just perfect. After Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $19. I think that's pretty great for $1 investment and a relatively quick turnaround time. Okay. The next item I would consider kind of a bad buy. This is just kind of a laggin' look type dress. And this was one of those days when I was finding some really good, exciting stuff. And for some reason, I decided to pick this up. It is by Ryan Roberts, which I had never heard of. But I think maybe when I was at the Goodwill, I looked up this brand and saw that it had a decent retail value. And so I picked it up without looking at the resale value. And it is just not a very well-known brand. And so when I listed it, I just got hardly any attention on it. And I think I started out by listing it for $39, and then when I didn't get any attention, I just relisted it for a lower price, I think down to $22. And this buyer offered me $18, so I went ahead and accepted, just because this is not something that I was interested in hanging on to and waiting around to get a higher price on. I just don't really think it's a super special piece. So I had paid $3 for this. After Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $11.40. Not amazing, but profit is profit. And because I had lots of little sales this week, all of it really adds up. I thought I taped that, but it must have come off. So if you're having a rough week and you can add on some smaller sales, it is great. However you get your sales to add up. Okay, so that is it for this week. Kind of an interesting week. It was pretty slow on Poshmark as far as dollar amount for sales, except for that Chanel bag. But that was for my own closet, so I don't know. But overall, I ended up having a great week. So my total sales for the week were $2,104. My total cost of goods was $145.50, but I did not put in any cost of goods for that Chanel bag because it was from my personal closet. My total profit or income was $1,538.36, which is wonderful. But if I deduct the $600 for the Chanel bag, my profit was still $938.36. So I would be happy with that either way. And I am very proud of keeping my overall profit above or very close to $1,000 a week, because that was my goal starting at the beginning of the year. So again, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. And if I haven't mentioned it in this video, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. It's totally free. And I do these ship with me videos every week. I also try and throw in a bonus video if I have time. And I try and share as much knowledge as I can so that you guys can learn and make more money in your reselling business. If you could give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching.